Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. How exciting. Interesting way to frame this. So I know a little bit about Slay the Princess, but I won't spoil anything here. So we're just going to kind of go until I feel like stopping. Probably a couple hours. I don't know how long the game is, to be honest. I am a little bit blind in that sense. I don't really know what to expect beyond the basic demo. But yeah, I'll let the game explain itself to you. Hero and Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
We have a little, clawed finger.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh no. Off the monarch, viva la revolution! How do we want to start? Consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up. Maybe a princess seems kind of bad thing, doesn't it? Get someone else to illustrate this. I'm not doing that. I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Oh, somebody hasn't considered late-stage capitalism.
I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Killing a princess does seem kind of bad, though. Doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman, or a miller, or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
I'm going to move camera to the top left so we can see the dialogue options.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Agree to disagree there, buddy. Agree to disagree.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
It's an interesting premise that you're presenting me with there. Okay.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Oh, fair enough.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Well, maybe I don't want to.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But why? Yeah, how can a princess locked away in a basement end?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Why?
Like I said, I don't make the rules.
But you do.
No matter how much I wish I did.
You're the narrator. You just narrate something different, and that's what happens. That's how this works.
guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Yeah.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Nice old cabin. Cute old cabin.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's the hero, though. Where's the hero?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
We're not taking the blade.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
We are gentlemen. We gotta slay the princess to free her from her confines. Alright.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
Oh, hero, you dumb little himbo.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Babe,
Okay.
let's talk a bit first. Let's have a conversation, ma'am. What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too
Doesn't have
formal.
a name. Red flag.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess
Doesn't have
if
a
you
name.
like.
Red flag, red flag, red flag.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Red flag, red flag.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, hero. That is weird.
She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Okay, so she hasn't been. Okay, that's yeah, red flags. Red flags.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess.
Narrator, that's so
That's
sus.
hardly relevant.
That's so sus.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Does she? She does if she's a person. I don't think she's a person.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
Yeah, you gotta be down here for a reason. Why are you down here?
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Okay. What's the explanation then, lady?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but the narrator's making some good points here. What are you
The
gonna do if I
princess
let you out?
hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Yeah, I think narrator is right.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Fair enough.
It's not like you'd believe me.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna go get the blade.
Turn
We're gonna
back
go
to the
stab her.
stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
Oh, yes, I can.
You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
Maybe we should have taken the blade.
She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all.
Glad you finally came around. Our little pointer's turned into a hand with a dagger. Can you see that? Yeah, a little dagger.
You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet.
She snuck out of the chains.
Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall, and she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me, or did this room get a lot bigger?
She's lost an arm. I'm locking her down there and letting her bleed out.
This is a dangerous play. Who's to say she'll actually succumb to her wounds?
Jesus Christ, he's got a point.
She doesn't have a weapon, and she's missing an arm. You can finish this right here, right now.
Tell you what, I'll even stay here for a while to make sure she's dead.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier.
Yeah, this is fine.
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
Yeah, not a princess. Not a princess. Let's just... yeah, not a princess. Not a princess. Not a princess.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
Nope.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
Nope.
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forget it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made to me.
Right, I don't, and that's why I have to kill you now.
Doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Alright, well, Whoever you are, you're not a princess. Go ahead and waste your energy. I'll be waiting for you.
I wouldn't be so sure about outlasting me. You're so brittle. So go ahead, rest, do whatever you think will help you be prepared. But know that I'm coming for you, and that when I find you, I will make you hurt.
I mean, we don't have great options here, lady. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to
You
wait
put the
out.
princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall.
We've dived right into, I think, one of the more intense or threatening scenarios of this game. This is not how I expected the game to start off.
You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
We shouldn't have fallen asleep.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change
This
them.
is a bad situation.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
Well, fun with me doing what? You know, if we want to have some fun, you know, it depends on your definition of fun, I guess, but, you know, there's not much I can do about it. May as well just lay back and accept it.
She steps closer,
Oh, you're not a
one
princess.
silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
You're not a princess, are you?
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It's not the end.
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.